After 12,000 sales calls, I have found the most important part of every sales presentation. Hold it up right here. It's the discovery and/or qualification. Why that is the most important part of every single sales call is in the discovery, you're finding out information and you're seeing how engaged your prospect is. If they have a high level of engagement, it's a fairly good likelihood they're going to buy. If they have no engagement, I don't care how qualified they are, they're not that interested in talking to you, finding out information. They're not that interested in the product because they're very low engagement. And I know there's people that are like, oh, well, there's engineers that have to think about it and have to study it, blah, 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 blah. They're not that interested. They're not going to buy today because they're low engagement. The discovery allows you to find information to qualify them, but also information to help you in your sales pitch to close them. The more information that you can get from a prospect, the easier they are to close, because a lot of times it comes down to setting off an emotional cue and letting them justify the purchase with logic. In a business setting, it's very similar. The more you know about the person you're talking to, the better you can relate, and you can basically quantify your product, what you do, to them in a non-business way. Makes it way easier because they feel like they're talking to a friend and not some robotic vendor who has no name, no face, doesn't matter. Then it's just a transaction. And you can sell transactionally. It definitely does have a place, it does work, but you'll never get high prices. You'll never get luxury purchases. You'll never get upsells. You'll never sell the big packages because you're not breaking through during the discovery and the qualification. Why I put both on here is really simple. The discovery is used to find out if they're qualified and to find out as much information as you can to help you in the sales process. Qualification is on here really simply because if they aren't qualified, there's no point in taking the call further. I can't tell you, how many times I've talked to companies and they're just like, oh my God, we pitch every lead. Why? Like, what? If every lead is qualified, perfect, great job. Every qualified lead should be pitched. But are you qualifying the leads? Like, hey, are you aware that our service is $10,000 to $15,000? If they go, oh my God, I never would spend that. And be like, okay, well, that's normally where our services are. Are you interested in continuing the call? Because we can give you the information, but if you're not ever going to spend that amount of money, we don't need to go any further because it's not really a good use of your time or ours. And I know that sounds crazy, but it will save you so much headache because there's a good 10, 20, maybe 30% of people that as soon as they jump on the call and they hear that, they're hanging up the phone. That's perfect because you want to get rid of those people so you don't send them to your salespeople who now are trying, we call it pitching Everest. They're pitching an impossible deal that very few humans could close, and it puts you in a situation where you probably aren't going to pitch them, and if you do, you're going to be pushing yourself to the maximum, which normally means low profit, high effort, big pain in the butt, possibility for problems because you're cutting price and you're giving maximum value. It's not worth it from a business standpoint, It makes it so much easier just to qualify them during the discovery and say, okay, we understand completely, you're probably not going to be our client. On to the next. I would rather have, so look at it like this. If you said, Nick, I'll give you 1,000 leads that we just got, or I can give you 100 leads that are highly qualified, ready to go people. I'm taking the 100 because I don't feel like calling through the 1,000 and then doing this process. When I can find the 100, call them and they're pretty much ready and it's yes or no. That's it. They're ready to make the decision. That's all I ask is they at least know something about us and they can buy our product. They have the ability to buy it. That's it. That's a good qualified lead. Okay, he can spend $15,000 and he knows who we are, put him on the phone. Versus, we don't know who this person is, they don't know who we are, it's just a lead, give them a call. There's a good chance they're not even going to answer, much less want to buy or can even spend the money. It creates a huge waste of time. Not only for you, but for your business. It's very inefficient. It burns up your sales reps. and it makes everybody more frustrated because it feels like they're doing a lot of work for a very little payoff. Even if it's making the business a ton of money, you want to keep morale high at the company as well. People have to want to do their job, and the easiest way to do that is to make it as easy as you can on them. So if this makes sense to you or this helps you, get out there, make some sales, and really focus on your discovery and your qualifications. I've done this over 12,000 times, whether it's on the phone, in person, doesn't matter. The discovery and the qualifications are the most important. I can't tell you how many times, like probably at this point at 12,000 calls, I probably would say a good 10% of them, over 1,000 people that I have met in person, I have literally been like, hey, this widget is, $3,000 to $7,000. Are you comfortable with that? And if they go, oh my God, I was thinking like $1,500. I'd be like, okay, would you pay more if there was a lot of value there? If there was something really cool that worked really well or completely solved your issue, would you be willing to pay more? Like, in the $3,000 to $5,000 range. And if they go, no, that's crazy, I never could spend that. I don't need to pitch them because it's a waste of time. Or if they go, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I figured it'd be somewhere, in the $3,000 to $4,000 range. I'm pitching that person because I can make up the difference. I can get them to $5,000. Or someone who wants to spend $500. There's no point in pitching them. There's no point. Save yourself time and headache. Focus on the discovery and the qualification, no matter what you sell. It will save you an outstanding amount of time, headache, morale, make you way more money because then you're focusing on qualified people who can buy and not chasing people that are just wasting your time.